most of you, all of you have directed. What was it like? You acted, and now you've kind of gone back and forth a lot, but you acted and then went behind the camera. What was that like for you to be the guy telling people what to do?
It was a huge, like that. I mean, it was like going to film school. I was fortunate that my co-director and cinematographer was actually a film professor. So, it was a great experience. It was something that I had written, and because the production happened so quickly, or that it got to the point where it was going to happen so quickly, I think I had that realization where it's like I was a co-director, and I will say that absolutely without a doubt. I could not have done it without someone else being there. Mm-hmm. But I think part of what I enjoyed was coming from the acting side of things and being able to work as a director in scenes where I wasn't in the scene particularly. I mean, it was fun to do that too, but working as a director for the scenes with actors when I wasn't in it was a fantastic experience, because I felt like I was coming at it with all the history that I had as being an actor, and hopefully for the people who I was working with, they felt like I was, you hear people call it a director's actor? Actor's director? What is it? That thing, yes. An actor's director. And hopefully that's what it was. That's what it felt like. It was, but man, it's a huge job.
Oh yeah.
It's a huge job.
Especially if you're acting in the movie too, which you were.
Yeah.
So it's like, who evaluates you? Well, you had a co-director. But
right, and those were the times where I would like to go back and see dailies. But I guess trust is the big word.
Yeah.
For me, I really had to trust Mark Wiskaman, who was the co-director. And this was for the film -1, and I just really had to trust him. And we also got quickly to a point where we had kind of our own little language, our own little shorthand of working together and knowing if something was working or not, and doing that. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's a crazy job to try and direct. There's so many things you're trying to think of and keep in mind, and you've got people asking questions about who do you need next, and this is set up, and where do you want the camera, and so it was a real eye-opener for me to see how much you have to hold in your mind at one time and still be able to focus on whatever question comes up. And when I directed, I used, this was for a film contest, and I used family and 4 kids and 3 senior citizens, and so I had already bit off a big chunk with that, but it was actually the senior citizens that were the craziest. They decided to go shopping when it was their time, and
you just needed animals. See, you needed animals in there, and you had the triumvirate, man. Kids, old people, and animals. Don't work with any of them. They just wander off, set fire to things.
Yeah.
So Bryan, what as the director? I mean, you've directed a lot of stuff.
I've directed a lot of stuff, but I will confess this: everything I've directed has been something corporate or industrial or medical. I have never directed since I was like 12, 13, 14 a narrative piece.
Well, it's time.
It's a goal of mine to direct. But I have worked with a lot of actors, worked with a lot of clients. But most of what I've done, all of it in my professional career has all been instructional. It has been interviews based. It has been very much people based. Patients, doctors, sitting down and talking with military veterans, interview stuff, creating stuff out of that. And the acting stuff has always been medical reenactments and things like that, where I'd get a cast of people playing doctors and psychiatrists, and we'd go through these modules. And I got a lot of great experience doing that, but I've never done now Vitas will probably tell you that I fought him tooth and nail when we did the film Motor Lodge, which I wrote and produced, and he directed, but he'll say that I wrested the reins from him probably a few times. But I've not done an actual narrative piece.
Okay.
So I'm looking forward to that at some point.